Hi roses! Welcome to your reading. My name is Tianna. I have been a tarot reader for 5 years and I post pretty actively on Twitter as Tianna Rose Tarot, but I also wanted to expand to some more long form content on YouTube as well. So today I wanted to start with a pick a card reading about what is coming into your love life in the remainder of the autumn season. So we have 3 beautiful cards for you to choose from today. First, we have Pomegranate, Dare to Taste the Unknown, Let It Seduce Your Spirit Awake. Then we have Pumpkin Spice and Apple Cider, Nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. And lastly, Straw Bale, it's time you step out of your comfort zone, take up space, and reach new heights. So take a second, ground into your energy, and see which card is calling out to you the most right now. And then head over to the comments to find the timestamp that corresponds with your chosen reading. I will see you soon. Hi, Group 1. This reading is if you chose the card Pomegranate. So first off, this is a beautiful card about getting comfortable in the unknown, especially in the autumn season as we transition into the colder months. Lots of things are changing, and it can feel really scary and unsettling at times. But this card is encouraging you to explore what it can mean to be comfortable in that darkness and in those changes. Pomegranates may be significant to you, also maybe a moth or the moon. So take that as it resonates, and let's pull some tarot cards. So first we have the Eight of Swords. So there's a situation here that you are feeling a bit stuck in, but it's something where it is a self-imposed barrier or containment. Something that you have the power to step out of, but you haven't been wanting to think about that, or maybe it's felt too scary right now. Maybe it feels a lot more comfortable to stay in your comfort zone and what you know. And so stepping into something new where you don't know what's going to happen yet can feel really unsettling. But if you continue to stay in that space, you're holding yourself back from accessing all of the things that are available to you. Let's see what else is coming out. A lot of cards here. We have Judgment and the Tower. So yeah, you're really struggling to make a decision on something. Perhaps you're currently in a connection and wondering whether it is the right situation for you to be staying in. Or maybe you've just been having a hard time putting yourself back out there into the dating scene. But whatever it is that you've been struggling to make this decision on, the decision may be made for you. If it's not something that is built on a solid foundation, if it is not in alignment with your highest self, you may experience this tower moment and having those things kind of fall apart in front of you. And obviously that can feel even more scary. But ultimately, we have the Two of Cups here, indicating that there is a new romance, a new partnership coming in. Also the King of Swords and the Page of Cups. So something is coming into your love life very strongly in the coming weeks or months. And it's an energy of somebody that really wants to get to know you and understand how your mind works and your emotions. And they really want to pour their energy back into you. We also have the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. So this may have been a time, as I said, that maybe you've been taking some time away from the dating scene, not really sure if you want to put yourself back out there yet. Maybe you've been focusing heavily on your career at this time, and that is wonderful as well. You have lots of financial and material abundance coming in. And also then the Queen of Swords here to balance out the King of Swords. You have the control here. I think there may be a lot of fear of being in a situation that you don't know what's going to happen and feeling like you're out of control. And so it's safer to stay in that comfort zone and what you already know. You might be somebody who really just pours yourself into your work and likes to stay very independent, very diligent, very focused. And of course, those things are wonderful. And also, it may be causing you to be in this place where you've kind of held yourself back from things that you may be wanting. And so if you've been feeling like you are ready to kind of step out of this period of rest and enter into something new, Spirit is saying that you really have that available to you, that there is a strong partnership available to you. Maybe this is somebody that you will know from work. Maybe this is somebody that wants to partner with you on a project after you've met. And I see this really going in a lot of beautiful directions. So it's important to not box yourself into only one option and really give yourself the time to see how things could unfold here. I'm going to pull a few more cards for you guys. Almost coming in the remainder of autumn for group 1. Okay, so we have the card Girl Talk. So regardless of your gender, this is an opportunity to really connect with your friends, to kind of enjoy that time being on your own, or not being in a partnership. Your friends may have a lot of guidance to share with you, or they might just be there to support you as you go through this transition period. But again, if you are somebody who tries to stay very independent, this might be a sign to not only potentially explore romantic connections, but to tune back into your friendships as well. What else is coming up for group 1? Okay, then we have the card Love Call. So somebody coming forward in the near future that wants to really express how they feel towards you. They want to talk to you frequently. For some of you, it might be too frequently. Some of you may need to set some boundaries or figure out how you feel about the amount that you want to be in communication with somebody new. And then we have the card Engagement Ring. So for some of you, this is somebody that will lead to a really serious partnership. Doesn't necessarily need to be marriage, but this is somebody that wants to commit to you. And I think you're going to see this as a bit of a transition period from being in this time of being single and enjoying that, and then next thing you know, finding yourself in a really committed situation. And so therefore, it's totally okay and encouraged to take this time to really continue honing your skills, figuring out what you are really wanting in a connection. Obviously, those are things that you can continue to learn as you get to know somebody, but you know, you might find yourself in this faster than you think. And even if it feels like a lot more comfortable to stay in what you already know, I think a lot of you want to explore something new. And so Yeah, at the bottom of the deck, we have I like you and the butterfly. So this is definitely a situation where you and this connection is going to be evolving. It might involve some inner child healing, having to go back to your roots, really trying to figure out, why do I feel this way with this person? And, you know, is this something that I like feeling? Is this just a trigger that I've gotten from my childhood experiences, or is this somebody that I really like as well? And so I think those are some things that you'll be grappling with in the next few weeks and months. But overall, I feel like there's a lot of really positive, exciting energy coming in for you. So please keep an open mind and see what happens. Hi, group 2. So this reading is if you chose the pumpkin spice and apple cider card. This card indicates to me that you're probably somebody that really enjoys the autumn and winter months, or maybe that's something that you're really trying to enjoy right now, making conscious effort to get cozy, maybe doing some fall crafts, honing in on some spiritual practices, maybe even going away to a cabin somewhere or spending some time out in nature, just really connecting with the seasons. And you are also probably somebody that really enjoys, or is working on enjoying, just being alone in your presence. Similarly to group 1, you may be somebody that is pretty independent and at least pretty content being on your own. Maybe you've been single for a little while. Maybe that's something that you've had to learn to really just enjoy your own presence. And especially as it's getting colder, maybe you don't really want to go outside very often. Maybe you don't want to have to put in that effort, and it's easier and more comfortable to just stay inside, enjoy your tea, enjoy your candles. And I think if somebody is coming into your life in the coming months, this will be somebody that wants to enjoy that space with you. Maybe they're fully comfortable doing an activity, parallel play with you, and maybe they could just, you know, sit on the couch and talk for hours without necessarily needing to do any kind of bigger activities. It also might mean that you meet them in a slightly more unconventional way. Maybe you're running into them in a grocery store, but not necessarily at an outdoor excursion. Maybe you are meeting them through a mutual friend, somebody just cozy and kind of wanting to be in tune with the way that you really enjoy life. So that's a really beautiful energy that I'm seeing so far. Now let's pull some tarot cards. What is coming into pile 2's life? We already had a few fall on the floor. Hold on. So the Page of Cups and the 8 of Swords fell out. These cards were both also in the first pile, so if you resonated with that card as well, you might want to go check out that reading, as we're seeing kind of a lot of overlap here. As I mentioned in pile 1, the 8 of Swords can indicate that you've maybe been feeling stuck in your situation, but some of that is self-imposed. If, as I said, you're really more of a homebody, maybe you are really just so content being at home or in your small circle of friends that it kind of makes it more difficult to meet somebody new. And if that is how you want to do it, then all the power to you. As I said, this person may be completely willing to meet you there in that space. But if you are somebody who's really interested in dating and, you know, finding somebody during this time, that might be a situation where you want to spend some time thinking about where else you might be able to meet somebody. Specifically with this Page of Cups, this could be, I think you could be hearing intuitively some places where you might meet this person, or maybe even receiving like intuitive messages from this person. You might just be feeling like, oh, I'm going to meet somebody soon. And maybe you have no idea where. or how, but you just feel so strongly from your intuition that this person is coming in towards you. And yes, they are. Let's see what else is happening. The High Priestess. So that just confirms what I just said. Receiving intuitive messages, intuitive hits. The more you maybe tune into your spiritual practice, any higher powers that you want to work with to manifest this connection, that is really being encouraged at this time, but it seems like you probably are already doing that. And yeah, Spirit really just wants to encourage you to stay true to yourself. If you believe that the actions you are taking are within your highest good and in alignment with your highest good, everything else will fall into place. I pulled quite a few more cards here. The Seven of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Cups. So for some of you, you definitely really have been manifesting this. And I also think that some of you are showing up in this energy that is very determined and maybe a little bit stubborn. Either in the sense that you have tried doing all of the traditional methods and have just kind of given up and said, okay, if it happens, it happens, and then leaving it up to the universe. Or in the sense that you are very clearly determined to stay in this I'm going to do it the way I want to do it mode, and maybe it would be a good idea to explore some other options. Either way, neither is wrong. Then we have the Moon and the Two of Swords. I do feel like you're really leaving this up to chance. There may be two options or multiple options here. Maybe there's multiple paths that you're kind of contemplating going down, but similarly with the Eight of Swords, you are holding yourself back a little bit from making that decision. There might be some really strong fears or insecurities around dating, around putting yourself out there, that are holding you back from putting yourself back onto the dating scene and exploring what other options there might be to get there. But you are entering this new cycle. You are, receiving that good luck. And so if, as I said, you are dedicated to really tuning into your intuition and manifesting this person out of thin air, I fully believe that you are capable of doing that. It seems like you know yourself and you know what you want. And so, yeah, that energy is just saying strongly, keep manifesting, keep tuning in to those higher powers and calling in what you desire. But also there may be some areas where you have to put yourself out there a little bit to actually receive those blessings that are being offered to you. But I know, who knows, for some of you, this person could be a delivery person that shows up at your doorstep with your Christmas packages, and next thing you know. I'll pull a few more cards. Had more fall on the floor. So first we have the card Not Enough. So connecting with the moon energy here as well. As I said, there might be some pretty strong insecurities here. Things that you might want to spend some time actually working on instead of putting on these blinders and not really letting yourself explore what that looks like. You might find yourself feeling really frustrated when you get into relationships and not really knowing why, not really knowing what you're supposed to be doing instead. Maybe you're the type of person to kind of be frustrated when somebody comes in and messes up your peace, and you've really worked hard at making your life peaceful and making your life work for you. And so it makes complete sense that you wouldn't want somebody to come in and kind of shake that all up. But that might be causing you to show up in some self-sabotaging energy and not really giving things a chance when they are meant to happen. So our next three cards, we have kisses. So there's lots of affection coming in from somebody. Unconditional love, somebody who wants to give and receive attention from you and for you. And also the card, I like you. So together, I think this is a new crush energy. It could even be somebody that you like see through your window in like a rom-com type of energy. I always see those videos on TikTok where people will like send their phone numbers on pieces of paper across the building. So it could be something like that. The keys on a ring card here indicates that you have multiple options here. This is not just one person. And as I said as well, multiple options on how to kind of pursue dating more people. It might be a little bit unconventional, and maybe other people are saying, oh, well, you have to get on the dating app, so you have to do these different things, but you know that that's not what you want, and so you're exploring these other options. The Axe card, again, can indicate maybe some self-sabotaging patterns. It could also mean that you are kind of going through a period of separation right now. There might be some feelings of abandonment that get triggered when you are interacting with a new person, if that's something maybe that you experienced in your childhood or something that you experienced in a past connection. And lastly, we have the card Palm Tree. So you are really trying to call in something stable, something that is maybe more permanent long-term into your life. I think if you are the type of person that wants to really commit to somebody when you commit to them. Like, you don't want to do something just to do it. And if you're letting somebody into your space, you want to make sure that they're really the right person. And so, yes, there's obviously times that you want to be cautious, that you want to be discerning, but there's a balance there between being completely closed off and then being too open. So if you are really looking for a kind of permanent or long-term type of connection, somebody that is really determined to work through things with you, that wants to grow with you, then finding that balance will be really helpful. Again, maybe wanting to make sure that you're not being a subject to love bombing or anything else like that. Like, this is something that maybe is a slow burn type of romance. It might not be everything you think you want right at the beginning, but you want to see enough signs that this is what this person wants and that is showing up in their actions consistently, and that will help you get a better idea of where you want to go. And of course, again, connecting to your intuition, you will be receiving lots of intuitive messages from this person about this person. So take this as a sign, if you've been hearing those as well, that somebody is coming in, multiple people probably, and they want to work within your lifestyle. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading if you picked the card Straw Bale. This card is, first of all, focusing on kind of the harvest season. Maybe you've been spending some time in nature, at a farm. Maybe you recently went apple picking, pumpkin picking, anything along those lines. And this is an indication that you know that you are ready for something new, that you feel like you've been maybe comfortable for a little too long, but you know that something is coming in. I feel like you guys are very confident that there is going to be a situation that will really help you grow right now. Like that might be your goal of like, okay, maybe I'm not going to find my forever person, but I want to go into this looking for new lessons that I need to learn, looking for new fun that I want to have. It could be a wide variety of things, but either way, you are growing. Either way, you are taking on these new experiences. And it's a really beautiful energy. So let's pull some tarot cards for you guys and see what else is coming up for you in the remainder of the autumn season in love. So first we have the Ace of Wands. So as I said, this is both your energy and the potential energy of a new connection. You might be just feeling a new wave of like passion and excitement and inspiration for life right now, which is, I think, something that a lot of people don't feel at this time of year. But if that is you, then that is wonderful. Maybe you just started a new job. Maybe you just started a new school year and there's just new changes coming in. Maybe you moved somewhere new recently, traveled somewhere that really kind of expanded the way that you view the world, or you read a really good book and now you're kind of thinking about things completely differently, and you just know that something is coming in to kind of match the energy of what you just kind of uncovered and the growth that you just had. This is also reflecting that this person coming in could be coming in hot, quickly. Somebody that's really passionate, could be physical or emotional. They have kind of a similar lust for life, a similar drive that I was picking up for you as well. The High Priestess card here. So you may be somewhat spiritual, maybe receiving some intuitive messages from this person or about this person. As I said, there's just this feeling that something new is coming in very quickly. Yes, the Knight of Swords, confirming that energy even more strongly. So this is not just somebody who is like energetically passionate, fiery. This is also somebody who is really decisive, and they have taken some time to know what they want, and they're gonna know it when they see you. Then we have the Tower card. So I see this kind of in two ways. This could be reflecting either you or this person's past, where there was a situation that kind of fell apart because it wasn't really meant to happen. And I think you knew that it wasn't meant to happen. You knew that it wasn't really built to last. And so now you and this person like have taken the time to really figure out what is supposed to happen next, like what is coming in. But I want to remind you that you don't always have to know. It might look different than what you originally imagined. The other thing that this card could be indicating is that this is kind of a connection that might burn out just as quickly as it began. And so that's something to keep in mind if you're meeting somebody who's like got all of this energy, that might not be super sustainable. Six of Pentacles. You're somebody that really wants to give back to your community. As I said, you might be traveling a lot. You might be kind of wanting to learn about a bunch of new things, expanding your mind. And especially as we kind of approach the holidays, I think you're somebody that either wants to or does really actively participate in giving back to the community and supporting people who might be struggling right now. This is also just indicating like a period of abundance for you, lots of new things coming in. Yes, exactly. So having the Sun card there indicates this is just a period of positivity for you. Like you're just a ray of sunshine in the darkness, and I think you will be meeting somebody who can hopefully meet that energy. For some of you, you might find that maybe they're a little too similar to you, that they might be, you know, kind of clashing with your energy because of how kind of loud and exuberant you both are. Or you might find that this person is really able to balance out whichever side you don't have. I'll pick a few more cards. Yeah, so this heartbroken card can indicate that the Tower was potentially about a past situation, or that this situation that I'm seeing like immediately coming in might be something that leaves you feeling a little bit heartbroken, but I think that ultimately this will not derail you from that process. So if that is the case and this new person is not really going to be here for a long time, they are going to really kind of fulfill those goals that you originally had either way. So if you're going into this thinking, okay, well, I want something fun, I think you're going to be having some fun. If you're going into this thinking you want to learn lessons, I think you're going to learn lessons. And sometimes those lessons are things that you want to learn quickly and get in and get out. And maybe you're the type of person that doesn't really need to spend a whole lot of time learning each individual lesson. The Hammer card indicates that if that is about this new person, that you may kind of be able to continue working on it, see if it works out. Like you might be the type of person who doesn't want to give up on things too easily. You want to see something through. You want to see the best in everyone. So you may spend some time trying to make things work with this person, but I do also see here that you have options. This is not something where you want to settle on or feel like you have to dim your light to try to match somebody else, because you have all of this positivity within you. You have all of this kind of like forward energy, forward moving potential right now. And so if somebody is not working, like keep moving. Yeah, the card Love Call. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have Not Today. So somebody might be trying to call you, trying to come back into your life, and you're just like not having it. That could be about this new person. It could be about a past person. If that is somebody that kind of things fell apart with in the past, and now you're trying to decide if you want to continue with that or start something new. The Ace of Wands, though, really indicates that this is something that you probably want to enter a new phase with somebody new. And yeah, if you're not feeling the calls that are coming in from somebody, if you're not feeling like responding, why are you forcing yourself to respond? Like, obviously you want to be careful that you're not self-sabotaging or just being like, okay, we've had one issue, so I'm going to keep moving. But do not settle. Do not try to put yourself into something that just doesn't feel like it's working, because that is not congruent with the energy that you are displaying right now. Like you, whether you feel it or not, you are entering this new phase of just really big growth, lots of exciting changes. And so it might be that somebody from your past, maybe you really wanted them to come back in, but now you've kind of gone through this growth and you're feeling like that is just not, it's not in alignment with you anymore. And I think you're going to know that pretty clearly, because you're going to be feeling just like, oh, I don't really want to deal with that, or you're pushing them off. And that is your sign that you've kind of moved on from that you've grown out of that situation. And so that's wonderful. And continue moving forward, continue to express the energy of this positivity, of this movement, abundance, And that energy is really going to attract people that have similar energy as well. It may also attract people that kind of want to take that from you, though. So it's always important to be really discerning and, you know, try to see the best in people, but also recognize that not everyone is meant to be in your life. You know, you can be a giver, you can be somebody who wants to like make somebody better, but that's not your role. Your role right now is to just exist within that beautiful positivity that is coming in for you. And if somebody is doing anything to kind of take away from that, that is not a situation you want to be in, because that's going to kind of suck that beautiful energy away from you. All right, thank you guys.